Okay, funny story. My wife was listening to my podcast the other day. Yes, she does that. And she said, "What's this thing called Whatnot you keep talking about on your podcast? Are you shopping without me?" Yes, I am. I'm cheating on you. It's called Whatnot. It's live shopping with chat, and it's a lot of fun. Look, I coach a lot of people online. I coach people to make money online. Most don't know how to do it. And I have been telling a few lately to go to Whatnot, see what they're doing, and give it a try. If you're a Whatnot seller, you really shine, and your people find you. And that's a big deal because if you're selling online, they need to find you for you to make money, right? And then they become repeat customers because they see your face, not just your logo. Whatnot is the largest dedicated live shopping platform, whether it's beauty, it's collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies. Yep, cookies. Sellers are building real thriving businesses. Anyone can do it too. Some people on Whatnot are selling, get this, 10 times as much as they do on other major marketplaces. And you don't know this, but Whatnot buyers spend more than an hour on the app every day. They're not browsing. That's why they call them buyers. They're buying your stuff. So here's how it works. You go live, you showcase your products, and you earn real income. Search Whatnot, WHATNOT, in the App Store, download, and you can start selling right away. So I've been talking about the glasses I ordered from Zenni Optical, my sponsor. Now, I've never ordered glasses online before. I didn't trust it, to be honest. But mine had a scratch, and Zenni was my sponsor, so I kind of sort of had to do it, right? I mean, I can't tell you about it if I haven't done it. So my previous thinking was, prices are too cheap. These can't be good. I'm not going to like them. I'm picky. I take that back. Mine costs about $70, and I can't tell the difference from the $500 pair I purchased 2 months ago. By the way, my wife likes them too. She said they look good on your face, and I want some too. And at about $70 or less, I can buy them. I am surprised, and I'm a customer. Zenni Optical has prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, all starting at under $30. Go to Zenni.com, pick a frame, upload your prescription. They'll ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And Zenni has that virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frames look on your face, and that is very cool and confidence building. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now it's time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out pretty quick, so don't sit on this. Go to Zenni.com/podcast, promo code podcast15. Have you ever noticed that we live kind of at a time when what you hear and what you see is not necessarily what's happening? Have you figured that out yet? It kind of seems like our shorter attention spans, social media, they've all elevated attention grabbing to the point where it overtakes the clarity of the message. And man, we need some clarity of message, don't we? Can you imagine how much life would get, how much better it would get if we had a clear message? Let's do this thing, huh? Man, oh man, oh man. Words, some wisdom, some wisecracks. Yeah, messaging and being able to talk to somebody and be able to clearly communicate what you're saying. That'll fix most. How many times in your life have you said something foot in mouth? I'll just take all the credit for that. You don't have to at all. I've done it all. It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com for 19 years now, or at least 18 into a 19th season. Little thing that kind of started on a whim. One day I said, I think folks could need to get out of bed every single day and maybe have something that is motivational, inspirational, tactical, funny. Okay, come here real close. When this show first started, I was in radio. Pretty obvious. I sound like a radio guy, right? I was in radio. I did Top 40 radio. And so my theory was this. If we could take all this good stuff called personal growth and then spin it into what might be a very cool, entertaining morning show where you could listen to the guy on the radio and go, man, that's cool. I like the show. Plus, I learned something. That was the theory. And so I'm still trying. See how I'm doing. I don't know. Anyway, good to have you. My name is Scott Smith. Thanks for stopping by. I want to make sure you get this, what I mentioned this week, the Daily Awareness Diary template I'm giving away. Daily Awareness Diary? That's a cartoon. Waju Abbott. That's it. Daily Awareness Diary template. It's a great way to get great awareness. If you haven't actually gone through this practice, I say, I've seen this truthfully. If you do it 5 or 6 days, you're going to see similar patterns arrive in your life, just going to bubble right up in front of you. Go, oh my God, there it is. That's me. It's so cool. Go to dailyawarenessdiary.com. I have the planner for you there. Look at the template. Look at the little instructions I gave you. Not much, and just do it for 5 or 6 days and see what happens. Take a flyer. Trust me on this. It works. It's been in operation about 1.5 years now, and it really does work. So one of my mentors is a guy you probably heard online, a guy named Donald Miller, a businessman. He's an author, does all kinds of cool things. He's creator of something called StoryBrand. And I use the story brand techniques and many times. Although now that I mention it, if you look at all my stuff, no, you don't. You're a total mess up here. True, absolutely. Right now we're kind of rebranding things. But I use what he does. In fact, what I'm doing right now is kind of realigning my brand and how I communicate to you as I kind of work on this new format and everything. But he says something that's just very cool. And I think if you learn nothing else from this podcast today, you can take this away, this one little thing that you extract out of his book. Thank you, Donna Miller, and credit where credit is due. I never thought about this. If you make somebody burn too many calories to understand you, they will never understand you. They move on to an easier choice. Let me say it again so you get that. If you make somebody burn too many calories to understand you, they will never understand you. They will move on to an easier choice. Obviously, the calorie metaphor is thinking. You're burning calories when you're thinking. And there's limited calories in your thinking thing. In the prefrontal cortex here, you don't have that many to play with. So if you think too much, you want the easy way. And by the way, as a human, you always want to take the easy way. Just give yourself that. Why do I always want to take the easy way? Why don't I want to work hard? Happens. Because you want the easy way. And who wouldn't want the easy way? It's survival. We want to take the easy way to conserve our energy. So when it comes to communication, and as a guy who spends a lot of my life communicating, I will tell you this, I got a lot of words. I got too many words oftentimes, and they're not big enough for some people. They're too big for other people. Sometimes it's difficult to get that message dialed in. But I know one thing. I know that when I do dial a very clear message in, no matter what I'm doing, it could be here on the podcast, it could be in my business, it could be with my family, it could be with my wife. If I don't get my messaging right to my wife, oh man, I'm in trouble. More likely, if she doesn't get it right to me, or more likely, I wasn't listening. Yeah, in my marriage, I don't listen. She listens sort of some of the time. Anyway, the messaging is everything, right? So I want you to pay attention to that. So another one of my mentors these days is my son. My son is a little older these days. He's 42. I think he's 42 now. Oh, I don't really know for sure. 43. I figured this one out. Anyway, his name is Austin. He lives out in Portland, Oregon. And he's a real intelligent guy these days. He's doing very, very well. But I do remember when he was 5 years old, and he was stupid just like me. Most 5-year-olds are, well, they're not stupid. I mean, they just don't know the ways of the world. That's, you know how it is. They're smart for their world. They're very smart for their world. But, anyway, he taught me a lesson about clarity a lot of years ago. Disney has been around for a very, very long time, doing some very, very cool things. All kinds of movies, TV shows and stuff like that. And he was a big Disney fan. Now, growing up when he did in the 80s, it was all about Little Mermaid and all that stuff that happened in the 80s. He-Man, that wasn't Disney, but it was there. So he was getting very excited about some kind of movie that was coming out. And he wanted to communicate to me very, very clearly. And he did, missing the mark by just a little bit. Because I'm thinking, okay, great. I'll take you to this movie. And I thought I'd be the smart dad. And I would ask my son, I would say, well, son, okay, where do we see this movie? And he says to me exactly what he'd heard on TV. He said, at a theater near you.
Heat up your 4th of July at the Home Depot with our wide variety of grills under $300 and make every gathering one to remember. Give your outdoor space a glow up, whatever your budget is, with savings on seasonal plants starting at $5. With the grill fired up and your backyard set to perfection, you'll be able to invite friends and family over to kick off the party. Start celebrating with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Prices may vary by store. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
My 5-year-old Austin, Daddy, we'll see this movie at a theater near you. How many times have you heard that on TV when they said, at a theater near you? Now playing at a theater near you. Totally right answer, right? Completely correct. His answer was great for a 5-year-old, but it didn't have the necessary context to completely communicate. So if we take the 5-year-old out of this, and we take the movie theater out of this, and we go to your life today, your business life, your communication with your wife, your kids, whatever it happens to be, and you give a generic answer like that, what are you doing? You're sending them into this calorie burning mode where they have to figure out exactly what's happening. We don't want to do that. So how do you communicate better? Well, you can communicate very clearly, very simply, like this. First off, in my experience, the first thing you need to do is you need to get to know what you want to communicate to somebody else or even to yourself. If you talk to yourself, and most of us, we do, the inner conversation, you need to know exactly what you want to communicate very, very clearly. And that takes a little bit sometimes. So sometimes you got to jot it down. And I do it to myself all the time. If I'm even if I'm writing in a journal or my diary or whatever I'm doing, I'm very careful what I write. And follow me on this one. I've seen so many people that write something down about themselves, and you go back 3 days later, they don't understand what they wrote. I'm telling you, I've seen it so many times. So I'm just saying, know what you're communicating, whether you're talking it, saying it, what you want to put out there, whatever you're writing down. When you read it back, do you understand what you were just thinking? Because if you don't, nobody else is going to. Number one, get clear on what you want to communicate. Number two, ask yourself if you're creating more questions than you are answers. Now, I learned this a long time when I was in the television business. I was producing infomercials, and I do it these days in everything that I do. A long time ago, we knew something about 30-minute infomercials. So that if we said something without backing up what we said, we created another question mark in the viewer's mind. And when you created a question in their mind, you in fact created an objection. They would say no because it was too difficult to figure it out. So we're very careful never to create a question, which is why if you watch an infomercial on TV, they're still on, they tell you everything that you need to know without ever introducing a new question. So when you know what you want to communicate and you communicate it without introducing a new question, then you don't have to give a new answer. No calories burnt, answer is there, it's easy to do. And finally, use the language of the person you're talking to. It's very common to use your own languaging and expect them to understand it. That's translation. That costs calories. Use your own languaging, put it aside, make it their languaging. If you do that, it's easier to get the point across to them. Easy stuff, right? All right, dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook. See me there. Facebook. You clean up the editing for me. dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook. I'm such a pro. Man, no doubt about that. At least I'm honest about it.